Hi guys, Monile, Monwalelo, Nosokumene Muri, Mrs. Gondre here. Today I want us to talk about sinking funds. If you don't tell your money where to go, your money is going to leave without saying goodbye. Zimango pitizira. Okay, so I want us to break down a sinking fund. This is a very good budget hack that we both need. Okay, so what is a sinking fund? A sinking fund is ndalama that you put aside pangono for, not for a rainy day. This is money for planned expenses. Okay, these are things that you know, come month end I have to pay for this. In 2 months time this bill is going to be ready. Okay, so for instance, things like school fees, we know that it's gonna come up. You know, kunena would come October, November, mugenena kuyamba ukonsekela kulima. You start planning now. You know that your rent is due in the next 3 months or in the next 6 months. You start planning that now. Christmas is coming up, guys. We don't want people struggling in January. Start planning your Christmas now, okay? That is a planned expense, so it goes into a sinking fund. A wedding, a memorial, ziliza, ceremonies, those things, those are planned expenses. So if you know, a lot of people like to do it when the person marks 1 year. Okay, so you know, by a certain month next year we will start talking about chiliza. So start saving that money because it is a planned expense. It needs to go into your sinking fund. Then we have things like car service. Okay, if you know after a certain number of kilometers you are supposed to service your car. In some countries it's every 3,000 kilometers you have to service your car. So this is also a planned expense. Then you have black tax. Black tax, you know, and how plan those things, guys, so you don't have to be stressing. My sister is failing to go to school because the fees, but you knew the fees was coming up. Why didn't you plan for it? Okay, most of us, we end up into getting in a very bad debt. We don't plan for our finances. We don't plan for our expenses. As a result, or all these other microfinance companies. And have you noticed something? Whenever you want a loan, the interest rate is here. When you want to save, the interest rate is here. So they know you're desperate. The reason why you're asking for a loan, they know you're desperate. So they'll tell you, bring us 33%, like what Malawian banks are doing right now. Or they'll tell you, microfinance, they'll tell you, bring us 40%. Or whatever. Some will say to you, okay, we'll give you the 15% interest rate, but you have to pay us within a certain period. Okay, so maybe the best place you can get a good debt would be from your village bank, because you know at the end of the day that money you guys are still gonna put it together and then you're gonna split it. But bank, you're just giving it to them, and one other thing is, these guys, they make us pay for insurance, of which if you successfully pay off the loan, they don't even give you a portion of that insurance money back. Legal people, please look into this. Banks need to start paying us back a portion of that insurance, because that insurance, amarenga something like 20% or like 25% that they charge on top of bank. Read your contracts, guys. Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. Right, so sinking fund. How can you help yourself not to be in debt by preparing for these predictable expenses? Assuming our school fees is 120,000 per term, and the schools will be closing soon, so the next time you're going to pay school fees will be sometime in August or September. So what do? 120,000, you can split it over 3 months, 40,000 each month. So right now in June you can save 40,000, next month 40,000, August 40,000. By the time you get to September, fees ya mwana yata. You know there's a memorial coming up in 6 months. Start saving now. I'm going to put 10,000 every month. By the time we get to the memorial time, I have 60,000. That is what I can afford kuzasonga kujiliza. There's a wedding. I'm going to start now. by the time the wedding time comes up, I have my 20,000 yogurindisonke. Bangono, that is what you use a sinking fund for. So where do you put the money? Some of you still believe in at home under the pillow. You can do that if it works for you. Okay. Some of you can use the TNM, Airtel, Puga, and FESA that I shared about. Some of you will prefer to use a fixed deposit account. Okay, some of you will prefer to use a village bank where you are saving the money knowing kunena village bank yatwitavanga mature, let's say in January. So by the time it's maturing in January, I have enough money to cover XYZ expenses at the beginning of the year. So my village bank Mazambili, where you can actually save up to 10 million kwaja that you get as a payout. So you're able to cover your rentals, you can fix your car, you can pay my school fees now for like 2 terms or at least 3 terms, all those things, you're able to do it. All right. So include these things in your monthly budgets. When you break it down to say my 20% is for savings, you then say 5,000 is sinking fund, 5,000 emergency fund, zinazo, whatever other investments that you're doing for your future, guys, towards your retirement. Split your money very well and then you take it from there. Okay, guys, so the goal is to put something aside. Don't just leave it at zero. Just put something aside. Do not mix a sinking fund and an emergency fund. Emergency is unforeseen. Emergency is malilo, things that we don't plan. Emergency is mwana wadwala wachoka mwendo mwadzidzidzi, okay? Or inuyo mwabanga ngozi and you are unable to be at work. That's emergency fund. Sinking fund is you knowing your rent is due, you knowing your car is due for a service, you knowing black tax, it's time to send money home, you knowing my children need school fees, you knowing my kids are growing, I need to, those are sinking funds, guys. Okay, if it happens every year, every term, every season, you're farming, that is not an emergency. Okay, so make sure that you are planning your finances properly so that you do not drown in debt. One of the things that I want to do is to stop people from drowning in so much debt and making silly decisions when it comes to money, and that's why I keep sharing this information on my platform. So please plan, make sure you know how to budget and choose a budget that works for you. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and I will see you at the end of the week. Cheers.